Now, perhaps we're due for a good news story about the media and the marginalised. Simon Pound discovered the Nutters Club.
Good evening. Welcome into the Nutters Club, the show about Nutters for Nutters, brought to you by a Nutter. I'm Mike King.
Hello, what's this on the radio? A Nutters Club.
I open the show by introducing the particular ailment that we're talking about. I introduced the Nutcracker, our own Fraser Crane, David Kodaya.
David Kodaya, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Kodaya.
Kodaya, David Kodaya, clinical director and consultant psychiatrist.
Once I've spoken with David, we introduce our guest, and our guest talks us through their life, takes us from their low point to where they are now. And by sharing that story, we encourage people to ring up, ask questions, and take advantage of the psychiatrist. I mean, mental health costs a lot of money nowadays.
That's the formula for the radio live show that Mike King runs on Sunday nights. It started almost by accident.
I was sitting there and there were no calls coming in, none. So I said, you know how hard this is when no one's calling, so I'll just have to start talking to the voices in my head. And the voices in my head were going, well, you're useless at this, no wonder no one's calling. So I was just saying it out loud, what the voices in my head were saying, and suddenly the boards lit up, and for the rest of the week they stayed lit up.
The calls they receive can be pretty intense, about depression, schizophrenia, addiction, despair.
You look back and you think, God, you're an idiot. The amount of stuff you drank, you just drink wine because I suppose a mother's.
I'd go and pick up, I'd use, and by that night I'd be sick and I couldn't score again till the next morning. So by the time I had to go and score, I'd be almost, crumbled over.
I'm sitting in the car on my own. I've done marijuana for 30 years. Had a massive anxiety panic attack on my own.
For Mike, it is a calling.
When I had my stroke a couple of years ago, before that I was a capitalist who was money driven, who cared about no one but himself and getting ahead and fame and everything that goes along with that, fast lollies and, lots of liquid lightning. As I was lying in my coma, dribbling down the front of my shirt, all I could think about is if I get another shot at this, then I'm going to try and do something a bit different. And I didn't know what that thing was until this came along, and I realise now the importance or the meaning of that saying, it's better to give than to receive.
David Kodaya is the psychiatrist on call. He's glad the show exists because the media has a patchy record on mental health issues.
I think that the media can handle things astonishingly well and astonishingly badly, and we see both every day, really. I think that you see all of the kind of worst stereotypes played out on the front page of the paper.
And he's keen to share his wisdom.
The idea about trying to reach out to men and make it easier for men to both know when something's going wrong and to feel okay about asking for help seemed like a damn good thing to be involved in.
Because that's what it's all about, helping people.
Most people are dying to talk about it. There's a great saying that we have on the show, secrets keep you sick.
And it's all done with Mike King's brand of honesty and a bit of joshing.
It's diluting the bullets that people fire at us. They call me nuts, I call myself nuts first.
That's the Nutters Club, 8 to 10, Sunday nights on Radio Live.